So I was playing casual the other day, and I stopped for a second and wondered, how many OSHA violations do two 8-foot unregulated moving saw blades in the center of your facility commit? I work at a factory, and as my department's de facto handyman, I commit a lot of OSHA violations. From not wearing safety glasses to improperly storing ladders to the incredibly illegal, this. I think it's safe to say that I'm more well-versed in OSHA regulations than your average TF2 YouTuber. Look, I'm not going to be going through every single nook and cranny of each map I cover here, because, let's be honest, that would be boring as hell, and also I don't want to do all that research. More so just an overall trend for each map, and then I'll give a letter grade of how unsafe of a workplace I think each of these maps is. Anyways, I hate long intros, so let's just get into it. The first map I thought of was Gorge. I have no idea why, but it's a map that I play more often than you'd expect, and I can't remember who it was, but I remember very distinctly seeing a video a few years ago where somebody pointed out these little walkways up here. And while I was disappointed to find out that these walkways were pretty much OSHA violation free, they were also probably the safest part of the entire map. Alright, first and foremost, I mean, come on, there's this massive fucking pit in the ground, we don't even have rails here. There's no handrail on this entire stairs. Can you actually stand on this? You can. You know, we have a pretty good railing all the way around here, except for right here. I can't even fathom why they would possibly just have this small, tiny little gap. This is a trip hazard right here. These lights on the ground, I'm gonna be honest, if I was working here, I would trip on these every single day, and I would fucking hate them. These large pieces of machinery don't have any sort of guardrails around. A lot of this is gonna be guardrails, I'm gonna go ahead and say right now. Okay, these just straight up say biohazard on them. This cannot be allowed. First of all, there's no fire diamond on them to denote what honestly, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what fire diamonds even tell. You cannot just stack crates of biohazard like this just out in the open. This is not following proper lockout tagout procedures, I'll tell you that. This entire area has no guardrail. These electrical boxes, you can't have anything placed on the ground in front of electrical machinery like this. They don't, fortunately, but you need a little outline showing where people are not allowed to place things. I've gotten called out for that one many times. Okay, there's a fucking spillage here. Wait, hold, no, there's just biohazard leaking onto the floor. What do I even say about this? Like... Oh, we have a mop. First of all, this should be properly stored in a janitor closet. You can't have this just sitting out in the open. It looks like there is actually water in that bucket. I don't see a single wet floor sign. I don't see a single bathroom. I don't see any sort of facilities that... I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what they do here. They actually have handrails on these stairs, and then not right here. And then again up here, but not right here. What is going on? I don't know the regulations on giant 40-ton blocks of concrete, so I'm just gonna ignore that entirely. Okay, these are just like straight up canisters of explosive gas. Once again, no fire diamond, no labels on them whatsoever. These things are completely flat. I mean, like, seriously, this could have been a serious workplace incident if somebody had knocked this over and it blew up. Another barrel of biohazard, just kind of sitting out in the open. No guardrails, no handrails. These barrels right here, well, they have a big X on them in orange, and they do have some labels on here. I don't see a fire... Wait! Hold on. It's not identical, but that right there kind of looks like a fire diamond. The colors are in the wrong spots. But... you know what? I'm gonna accept that. Okay. Alright, what is this? No. First of all, this ladder is not properly secured in the slightest. Look at how, like, tenuously it's being attached to the ceiling there. This thing is not bolted down in any way. It looks like it was built on the job site by one of the... Actually, it kind of looks like something I would build. You should not have your medical equipment sitting in this impossible-to-reach spot up here. Alright, overall, I mean, this map, we got some serious issues going on here, but it could be a lot worse. The improper storage and use of all these biohazard barrels and all these explosive canisters, I think that does bring it down a letter grade. So I think that I can give this map a C. Overall, this map wasn't that bad. Other than all the barrels and canisters I pointed out, the only real major faults were the lack of guardrails in certain spots and this one terrible, terrible ladder. This map gets a C, and we'll see how it fares against the next few maps. The next map is Sawmill, the map that inspired this whole video. Unfortunately, I am a dumbass, and I had my game audio turned off for the first half of this recording, so I put in my own sound effects until I fix it. Anyways, this map has some very obvious, blatant faults, but as you'll see, there actually isn't quite as much wrong here as you'd expect. Alright, already, in the spawn room, we have a fire bell. Good job, that's pretty good. Alright, already, in the spawn room, we have live ammunition hanging off the side of this cupboard. Bad job! Oh, we do have some we didn't have last map. I mean, it's better than nothing, you know? This is some sort of safety equipment at the very least. Okay, no guardrails once again. Oh my god, we actually have properly secured shovels and rakes and hoses. Look at these logs securely tied together. Okay. No, 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 no. We haven't even gotten to the sawmill room yet. And we just have this giant fucking blade sitting here? Absolutely not. It's not even like attached to anything, it's just leaning here. You are asking for this to be like rolled down this hill right here and decapitate like 6 people. Also these logs right here, I mean, you could just like bump them and they'd go rolling down this hill. This one's just knocked over, these are not properly secured. This dynamite is literally just sitting here. The crate is knocked over. Okay, no, wait. Again, more dynamite just kind of sitting here. No, you cannot keep your medical supplies floating on a log in the middle of this pond over here. Absolutely not. Great, I just realized I didn't have my game audio on this entire time. I'm gonna, like, put in cartoon sound effects, everything up to now. Okay, these nails are a trip hazard, can't have that. This barrel's knocked over, come on. I mean, like, do I even have to say it? It's a giant 8-foot spinning, moving saw blade. There's no guardrails around this thing. You should not keep your medical supplies directly adjacent to the moving saw blade. That should go without saying. I don't actually know what's down there. Hold on. It's like an elevator or something? It looks like an elevator. Oh. It looks like some sort of elevator. This should definitely have some sort of safety rail all the way around the outside. The track is exposed right here. I don't know if that's an OSHA violation for sure, but I feel like somebody could get their hand stuck in there. I mean, you shouldn't... I personally would not keep a basketball hoop directly in front of the, again, giant moving spinning saw blade. That is... highly illegal. You cannot have this. This is not secured. I think it's even floating. It's literally floating above the ground right now. Somebody's gonna slip and slide and fall all the way down there and break their neck on these logs. Again, these planks are improperly stored. This bridge, I mean, come on. Hey, this side doesn't have a saw blade sitting here. Say what you like about red, but they do not have a saw blade just kind of dangling out in the open. Yeah, this is all the same otherwise. Honestly, if it wasn't for the giant saw blades everywhere, this could be salvageable. This is probably going to be bottom of the list. Wait, one last thing. How are you going to open that door? The hinges are on this side, which means it opens inwards from here. Wait. So, I originally recorded 5 different maps total to use for this video, and in the recording for this map I gave it an F, but let me tell you, this map was far from the worst one I covered. In fact, it was pretty tame, all things considered. Yeah, the saw blades are bad, but honestly, sawmills are like real workplaces, and although they don't usually look like this, they do have giant spinning saw blades. The only real problem here is the lack of safety features around them. So I'm gonna give this map a D, because it actually does have some good things going for it, but also does have some other terrible workplace hazards going on. So it goes below Gorge. The final map I'm covering today is Upward, which I originally chose just because of how iconic it is to TF2, being touted as one of the best maps in the game by a lot of people. But holy shit, I was not ready for just how awful of a place this would be to work. Alright, right off the bat, we have a bunch of giant warheads of some sort. Like, I don't know what kind of codes or violations this could possibly be committing, but we have exposed ammunition and rocket launchers. This is already, like, gonna be a D at most. Like, there's no recovering from this. These things are so close to the edge, there's not even a guardrail on that side. Somebody could just come up and push one of these off and drop it down. I never realized there was a boat out there, though, before. How many of you knew that there was a gondola leading up to this place? I bet not very many. Yeah, you cannot have...
Is someone gonna push the freaking cart?
You cannot have this entire section without any... Oh, of course. The notorious OSHA skull and crossbones. How could I forget? This, I mean, can you fall down here? Well, you know what? This just barely passes OSHA regulation. Just kidding, no. You would absolutely get your leg stuck in this. Someone's gonna be skinny enough to fall through there. The barrels are nice and in the corner, out of the way. You have your health supplies in this little cubby right here. I mean, other than the obvious, this place isn't that bad. Okay, so this is a minecart track. People are supposed to be pushing this up this hill. I mean, it doesn't go on its own, right? They don't have, I haven't seen any sort of automated minecart equipment. There's no stairs here. It's blocked off on this side. The closest thing to a stair is this jump right here, which no, you cannot have that. You need some stairs here. Your feet would easily slide on these planks right here. Oh. Huh. Probably got shut down because there's so many fucking violations. They actually do have a guardrail here, though. Look at that. Need a handrail there. I mean, like, come on. Like, these are properly secured, though. Look at that. Warning! Unsafe! What are you gonna say? Oh my god, a hard hat. Huh. Look at that. This fencing is... I mean, it's not great, but it's adequate. It's there. Alright, this part... Yeah, no. Yeah, there's nothing about this that is okay. There's not a single thing here. Like, there's a reason this is probably one of the deadliest parts of the entire map. This entire section has not a single guardrail. And this whole, like, little junction right here. Not even, like, next to this building. This step is too narrow. You wouldn't be able to fit your entire foot on there. It needs to be longer and stick out more. This right here is a trip hazard. These boards are also a trip hazard, especially this nail sticking out. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say absolutely not with this. What is this even for? Like, what could you possibly be doing with this? Maybe it's some sort of mine, but you would need some serious guardrails around this entire thing. I don't know how I didn't stop here first, honestly. This is pretty much as bad as the sawmill saws, I'm gonna be honest with you. They do at least have some guardrails around the outside, but like, there's like just baffling spots where they don't. We got more of these. These need fire diamonds. These boxes can't be up against here. Somebody could easily push one of these off and drop it on somebody's head. They should be pushed up against this wall, but there's actually a guardrail here, so... There's some pretty baffling things on this map that just blatantly disregard any and all possible safety yeah, that makes a lot more sense on this map. I think it goes below Sawmill, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think that would be possible, but I think it does. The massive hole in the center of the map up here, and all the explosives that are just out in the open. All these baffling, terrible fences that just have holes in them. This one is like, at like that's like a 15-degree angle. I mean, this map really just doesn't have many redeeming qualities at all. While I was flying around with no clip to get footage for this part, I even found more problems with the map, such as the fact that this giant towering pillar of crates right next to the giant pit are all filled to the brim with explosives, or the abundant number of walkways around the map that would just be my constant nightmares if I worked here. I'm not sure if it's just my acrophobia or what, but I've gotta be honest, I would much rather work at Sawmill than here. For that reason, it gets an F and goes at the very bottom of the list. So the final list is Upward in last place, looking more like a Disneyland ride than a safe work environment. Sawmill in the middle, being a job site that probably has a higher than average mortality rate, even for TF2 maps. And Gorge at the very top, which only wins by default. Anyways, that's the end of the video, but like I said, I originally looked over 5 different maps, but during editing I just knew the video was going to be longer than I'd wanted to make. So I cut the other 2 out, and I didn't plan on making another video about this, but if for some reason you guys really like this video, or are just incredibly based and OSHA pilled, let me know. I could always make another one. You know, I should probably look this up just to make sure that nobody else has done this idea already. Oh, god fucking damn.